Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to Morning Breath. Just one topic for you today, and it's a pretty important one that we've been really discussing over the past few weeks, really, as we've been on tour.
Splitting the song.
Yep. How do we split up our songs once they've been written?
Yeah, and we're pretty much going to stay within our own genre or our genres of experience because we did a little bit of research on this. We looked up and found a great article on lawyersrock.com, The Secret to Split Sheets for Music, if you want to look it up. And they talked about how hip-hop does it differently than rock does, and rock does it differently than country does, which makes a lot of sense. That kind of actually cleared up a lot of things for me. Nashville, in particular, has its own thing. I've done a lot of co-writing in Nashville. I probably co-wrote well over 100 songs just in the first year I moved to Nashville. The thing that seemed to be across the board with every co-write I did was no matter who was in the room for the co-write, 50%, or well, if there's three, then 33.
But an even split.
33%.
Yeah.
An even split between the writers, no matter what. It kind of took away all of the, they didn't really contribute this much, and think about how many arguments that would, many court cases that would result in.
That's interesting. I'd never really encountered that.
Well, it sounds really unfair, but if you think about it, it's not, because I've been on both sides of that, especially when I was newer to co-writing. I would sit in sessions and I didn't write a damn word, and I would get an equal share, and I was like, how is this fair? Flash forward, to another co-write later where I carried the weight and somebody else sat there and didn't contribute anything, and I gave them equal share. I'm like, you know what? Actually, it kind of balances out at the end of the day.
So that's an interesting contrast from my experience, mostly when I was in a band and our songs were more organic. It generally started with some sort of groove, either by myself as a bass player or the drummer. When we had a solid groove, a solid form, the horns would put in their part, the lyricist and vocalist would figure out the words and the melody. And so everyone kind of grew the song together, whether it was all at one time or maybe piecemeal. The odd thing was it was sort of tacit that everybody got kind of an equal share of the song, even though it was never really, no one ever really said that. It was just sort of an understood thing, unless one of us brought words, melody, and chords. I did that on a couple of occasions. But even then, it wasn't entirely clear who the song belonged to. We just kind of all took ownership of it.
And you never made any percentages or
no,
which just
we
seems
never
like
we never figured anything out.
That's kind of the problem, because especially what we were reading, there is no actual answer for what's right. It sounds like everything is just on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
The way that Ed and I do it is we just decided to give each other equal share of every song that we record and release.
Yep.
We put so much into the music that it just seemed like the right thing to do.
And even still, invariably, the songs would change a little bit from what, if we brought, one of us brought a mostly finished song, the other person would help us tune it up a little bit. Like they say, oh, why don't you put this word here? Or maybe this verse doesn't work. Why don't you change that? I mean, that's happened nearly every time. I didn't have a problem with it when we'd agreed to do that, and
it's so much easier.
It's just a lot easier. It's just easy,
and it balances out too. Kind of like the co-writing thing I was talking about earlier. I mean, a lot of the songs Ed and I will write together, and they'll be an equal share. Or sometimes he'll write the whole damn thing. Sometimes I'll write the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so we just go, well, let's just split it all down the middle, because we very rarely record songs that. And this was actually kind of accidental, but maybe it wasn't. We don't really record songs that other writers have contributed on. It's usually just individual writes or co-writes, so it's easy to split everything.
That's how we look at it. We look at it as a matter of convenience. Some people may not agree with that. Some people have different ways of looking at it.
And so the answer to this question of who is the writer, there isn't an answer. You have to come up with it on your own. I mean, And Del Coa, the way that with my old band in Arizona, the way we did it was, because we never showed up with a song or an idea and then wrote something together. It would always be either myself or the other lead singer with a finished song, and then we would show up and we would arrange it together. So the way that we worked it out was the lead writer would take 40%, and then the other 60% would be distributed among the band members. And that's what we had decided was fair, which ended up also causing problems, but that's another story for another day. So it's just an individual basis. I think it's really important to define those lines early on, like Ed and I did, and that way there's no questions and no problems. I've had band members get frustrated who, what do you mean? I wrote the guitar line on this song. What do you mean I don't get co-writing credit on it? And it's like, well, yeah, but we didn't show up and write it together. And that was kind of that's going to spark a whole nother argument, honestly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gray area, that part.
The
it's true.
sideman thing is because, then I think if you're a band, you're just going to have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then if you are the lead songwriter and you write a song and you have a band and you want to play with the band, this is something that you're going to have to talk to your band about.
I mean, again, that's why we took care of it at the front end so that we wouldn't have any problems later on.
Yeah.
And
there's only two of us.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier.
It does.
Make sure you get it sorted out ahead of time. If you're working with really good people, then it'll probably be a really painless process to figure out the song split.
If it's a fight, it's probably not meant to be. You're going to fight about something else later.
Yeah.
So you should just probably break up now.
Yeah, save us the competition. Just break up now. What is the song for today?
The song is Radio Silence, which we thought was appropriate. We're recording here in Nashville for this month of Morning Breaths. And this song is a perfect example of what we were talking about because it's something that I wrote the lyrics and the melody on, and I was having some trouble with the chords. And Ed and I started performing it live, and then we ended up recording it, and he helped me figure out these chords. And as our arrangement goes, Ed and I are now equal co-writers on this song. It's also kind of funny because the song is called Radio Silence. It's a bit about my experience in Nashville, which was wonderful and also heartbreaking.
So, without further ado, Radio Silence. 1, 2. Wait, you count it, sorry.
Radio silence coming through loud and clear. Nothing new. 1, 2, 3. Radio silence coming through loud and clear. Nothing new left to say, nothing you wanna hear. It's not a science, radio silence coming from stereo static. No one else can play the best of the records in the attic. DJ, put my song on pause, turn me off, hold the applause. DJ, spin me upside down, no one heard me cry out loud. DJ, kill the music first, listen how the quiet hurts. Radio silence, all the noise shut you up in the night without a note. Just like there was no love in the violence. Radio silence, it's your turn. Pick a sad song, I'll burn, then get stuck in your head like a blank album. DJ, put my song on pause, turn me off, the applause. DJ, spin me upside down, no one heard me cry out loud. DJ, kill the music first, listen how the quiet hurts. more paper for the pile. Roll it up, give me a light. One more contract for the fire. At least one of us is getting high. DJ, put my song on pause. Turn me up, hold the applause. DJ, spin me upside down. No one heard me cry out loud. DJ, put my song on pause. Turn me up, hold the applause. DJ, spin me upside down. No one heard me cry out loud. DJ, kill the music first. Listen how the quiet hurts. Radio silence. Radio silence. Radio silence.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Extra special thanks to our patrons on Patreon. You can find out more at patreon.com/witherword. If you really like what you're seeing, stay in tune with our channel. Subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends. Do whatever you can to get the word out, and we'll really appreciate it.
We are putting our behind-the-scenes footage of the research of this topic and every topic that we're going to be doing on Morning Breath from here on out. You can find that on patreon.com/witherword. So,
so
it's only $1 a video.
Yep, only $1. So you can get all the cool behind-the-scenes features because you know that's what
all
you
the
want
arguments that we never have.
Yeah, you know you want it. You know you want it.
Lots of arguments. There's some fighting and hitting.
Chair throwing.
Yeah, you should subscribe. It's really exciting.
It's really good. Yeah. Yeah, you should really do it.